The following is a special presentation of the First Horizon Green Sports Zone. This is the Pizza and Annette Watch Show. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watch Show, where we cover everything on the court inside of Howard Henry Gymnasium with the Greeneville Lady Devils basketball team. We'll recap this past Saturday's loss to Cocke County in the Class 3A sectionals and recap the season as a whole. But first, before we do that, we need to get a quick word in first from our sponsors, so we'll be right back here in just a second here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. The Pizza and Annette Watch Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan, Tommy's Plumbing, Pizza Inn, and by First Horizon Bank. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watch Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Greeneville Lady Green Devils basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with Lady Devils head coach Annette Watts. Coach,
hey bud,
how we doing?
Hey, we're still a little ill from a loss, but you know, anytime it's your last one and you're that close to the state tournament, you know, you have to look those seniors in the eye, and you have to look those teammates in the eyes, and it's over. And there has to be winners and losers, and you just don't want to be on that losing end.
And of course, like you said, being 32 minutes short of Murfreesboro always stings, no matter if it was an overtime loss, a loss in regulation by 50, a loss in regulation by 1. It still stings to come up short of Murfreesboro, and it was very similar to the Daniel Boone game.
It was. And isn't it ironic that in the last week of our season, we played, of the 3 top teams in the state, we played 2 of them, you know, and had to get by them. And, you know, we just didn't hardly have what it took to get that done, but we certainly tried.
And it was, we talked about it, it was a lot of the same elements of everything. You have Aaliyah Story on Boone, and you have Carmen Carmichael for Cocke County. You have Andrea Flores and Lainey Britton, and then you have the Clevenger twins. You had a lot of similarities between both teams, both ranked top 5, playing one on the road, one on a neutral court, and it almost ended up being the same exact game.
First half, we played right with them, got into the third quarter, got in foul trouble in both games, and fell by the wayside. And you know, you're right. It's very ironic. It's a prideful moment in that we saw we could play with them. It was just the longevity that we couldn't maintain that they could.
We'll break it down half by half like we did with the Boone game. You come out in the first half against Cocke County, you hold a lead after the first quarter, and then the second quarter you get up by I think as much as 5 after Briley Tulloch's third 3, and you're feeling good in that moment. Same question I asked you after the Boone game. How well did they carry out the game plan in that first half?
Excellent. I mean, excellent. We did the things we wanted to do, and then Cocke County changed. They moved 6-3 over on Briley. And at first I grinned. I said, you think she can keep up with Briley Tulloch? There ain't no way. There's a way. That girl is long. Carmichael is quick. I felt like Briley still got by her some, but it took so much effort to get by her and to do the things that we needed to do. So we tried some other things, and you know, it just didn't work.
Side note, I don't know what Carmen's stats look like, but how she wasn't a Miss Basketball finalist, just looking at talent, is beyond me. She's been one of the best that I've seen this year.
Absolutely.
I don't know how she wasn't a finalist.
I don't know how she wasn't a finalist either, other than being a junior.
Correct.
Sometimes, especially on the women's side, there's just so many skilled and talented seniors that they just swamp what the juniors can do, but I don't see how the seniors swamped her. She's just really, really good at all facets of the game. I mean, she goes hard. She's coachable. Uh-oh, there's those
You got to love announcements during the school day.
Remember, Green Devils don't follow greatness, we lead it.
Now, everyone gets to know what we do at Greeneville High. But back to our thoughts there, you know, and when we went in at halftime, I saw a little change in us. We were very, very quiet. seemed intimidated that we could have the lead we had there in the second quarter, let it dwindle so quickly. I think they were scared of the same thing happening that happened at Boone. And isn't it ironic that it did? But I just felt like we started questioning ourselves, and we certainly shouldn't. Look at the year that this team has had, and who would have thunk it a year ago, graduating what we graduated, that we again could come back and have a 23 win season with the schedule we play. I was looking at the state tournament stuff yesterday, and there was Alcoa right there in Murfreesboro. They have 6 losses, one of them to the Lady Devils.
And you look at other teams, Sevier County.
Yep.
Right there in it.
Sevier
Bearden,
County.
right there in it.
Yep.
So,
and we play all of those folks. So.
And then looking at how the second half changed, it is really crazy how many parallels there are in that Boone game, because the third quarter starts and Cocke County their run was in the second quarter though. Boone's was in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Cocke County went on a 14-2 run to end the second quarter. So their run was in different quarters than this one, but very bland question to ask, but when they put Carmichael on Tulloch and that shuts down your offense a little bit, how much did that game change going into the third quarter after that run?
A bunch. That's why I think we looked a little fearful in the locker room. We made some changes. We discussed, Brad was my assistant as Zach's little baby was just getting out of the hospital that day, so she's doing well. For those of you who want to know about the Holt baby, she is doing great, little Millie. But Brad was my assistant that night, and we talked about looking at a zone. But with the way Cocke County could shoot, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay with our man-to-man, so I did. And hindsight's really good. Now I look back and I think maybe I should have tried that zone.
And then after the game's over, of course, the disappointment sets in, falling short of the state tournament. But this year was a little different. You walk into that locker room, you inform the team that you wouldn't be coming back next year, and it all kinds of sets in.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
I know
it.
you talked to Brian afterwards, about 15 minutes after the game ended on radio, and you confirmed it. And I want you one more time, just when did it really set in that was it?
Probably halfway through the fourth quarter.
Okay. I
realized I don't know that we can come back from this. And I knew that somehow my retirement had snuck out. And I knew parents were hearing it. I knew media was hearing it. I wanted to be the one to tell my kids. And I didn't want our year to be about Coach Watt's retirement, her last game, all that stuff. And I know North Green went through that with the team they just defeated. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be about my players, about this season for them. And, an old horse just goes out to pasture. So, and the kids, I don't think it bothered them. I think they know that a new coach will come in, pick right up, might not yell at them as much as I do, pick right up and just continue on.
And I asked you after the game, and I know you had just the most simple answer you could give, and it was not the right time for me to ask the question, but I was curious in the moment, and I'm still curious, and I'll ask now for those that didn't read the article, but your tenure here at Greeneville ends after 13 seasons, 274 wins, 603 career coaching wins between the high school and collegiate level, and some of us don't want it to end. What's next?
I don't know. Mom is 91. I have a sister-in-law that is in stage 7 dementia. And my brother, there's just he and I, and he relies on me a lot. And I want to be there for him. My husband is building a new drag car. Now, those of you who know me know that Mike Watts used to race on the NASCAR circuit.
I didn't know that until I interviewed Brad earlier. That's awesome.
He raced on the NASCAR circuit. And you get too old sometimes to race around track. Your body can't take the hits and the wrecks. So he decided to build a drag car, which is just straight down a track. And Mike has always built all of our race cars. And This one has been a challenge, but he has loved it. We bought a motor home. We're going to take the dogs. We're going drag racing. That's
So there's
what's next.
a next step in your life there,
Next
maybe
step.
outside of coaching. Is coaching off the table?
No, coaching's not off the table. You know, I've got to see how my heart deals with not coaching and with not teaching. You know, it was a hard decision to make. You hate to leave the Julia Woolseys, you know, the Maria Lides, the Allison Hayeses. You know, you hate to leave something that you've done from the time you walked out of college. You have done coaching and teaching in some form or fashion. And it's a little scary, but I just think it's time.
And we'll move forward into the second half, and we'll talk about the season as a whole. Of course, like you said, nobody would have imagined a 23-win season after what left and what was coming in, but the Lady Devils made it possible, made it all the way to the sub-state round. And we'll review the season as a whole in the second half, so don't go anywhere. We'll get a word in from our loyal sponsors one last time, and we'll be right back here in just a minute here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.
Pizza Inn presents I Ate at Pizza Inn. I ate pizza at Pizza Inn. I ate a salad at Pizza Inn.
I ate pizza!
I ate it all.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and I'm inviting you to come and enjoy Greeneville's favorite hometown pizza, pasta, salad, and dessert buffet for just $8 all day, Monday through Friday. And then you can say,
For over 30 years, Tommy's Plumbing has proudly served the Tri-Cities with a personal touch because we're not just plumbers, we're family. From simple faucet repairs to full plumbing repiping, we have the experience and expertise to get the job done right. We also specialize in water heater and tankless water heater installations, helping you find the perfect solution for your home. Our technicians stand behind their work and always leave your space clean and spotless. Looking for a plumber who's fast, professional, and reliable? Call Tommy's Plumbing and let our family take care of yours.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greeneville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greeneville.
Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete and Annette Watch Show, where we cover everything on the court inside of Howell Henry Gymnasium with the Greeneville Lady Green Devils basketball team. Once again, I'm joined here with Lady Devils head coach Annette Watts. It's sad that's the last time I'll do that intro now.
That's okay though. Somebody else will be sitting here, and they'll be fun, and everything will roll right on. The show will go on.
And the Lady Devils will continue being one of the best teams in the state of
Absolutely.
Tennessee.
You got it.
Let's talk about one of the best teams in the state of Tennessee this year and talk about the season as a whole. 3 questions I always ask in the closeout edition of a coach's show. Favorite memories, favorite moments, favorite games. If you have the same answer for multiple or all 3, that is perfectly fine because that's just the way it is. We'll start off with favorite memories. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a game. It can be in practice, bus rides, going up to ETSU to watch an alumni
game, yeah.
eating at Pizza Inn, summer camps. What have just been some of your favorite memories with this team?
With this team, the most fun memory is after the Sevier County game and after the Bradley Central game, where we were pretty much whooped, coming back into practice and the girls saying, work us hard. We work us hard. We can do better than that. We can play better than that. And you talk about a proud mama moment when they stepped up and decided to totally change. They were practicing hard, but were they practicing as hard as they could? No. And what a memory, what a fun moment that was in a coach's heart to see a team say, we're going to do better than that. And you let them know that, girls, those 2 teams, they have twice the amount of students we have. They get to choose from so many people. And you competed, but yeah, you're right. We can compete better. What a great moment that was. Let's see here. The next one would be what now?
Moments. And this is my favorite question because I'm very interested in your answers because I think the Lady Devils may have created the largest amount of moments this year. Briley Tolic's triple doubles,
Yes.
the Albertville comeback, Maria
Yep.
Lyde's 30-point game on senior night, Allison Hayes' game against
At Westridge, with her coming in.
Just so many different.
Wow.
Was it Science Hill in overtime?
Science Hill in
Yes,
overtime.
so many different
Yeah.
moments. What have been some of your favorite moments of those throughout the season?
Oh my, of those, shoo, all of them.
Yeah.
You know, the last one that happened is probably my most favorite moment, but you know, I saw a light bulb come on in 3 kids in all of those games, whether it be Julia, whether it be Briley or Maria, triple doubles, double doubles, having a moment in games that just was spectacular, and seeing those light bulbs come on. Those are precious. Those are things that kids will remember forever. They may not remember the wins or the losses, but they'll remember how they felt when those great things happened. And like I told you just moments ago, I don't always remember those big stat things, but I remember seeing that kid, seeing her celebrate with her teammates, seeing her teammates point at her on that, hey, great shot, great move. See, I thrive on all of that.
One that I remember, the first game of the year, it resulted in a loss, but Briley Tolick gets a half-court shot to end the game, and that was her 2,000th point.
That's her
Special
2000th
moment.
First game
Yes.
here at Greeneville High.
Alcoa's win at home, a big win.
A big win, and you know, and I'd mentioned that earlier, that Alcoa's, you know, in the state tournament. Okay, we've talked memories, we've talked favorite moment. What was the other
Favorite games?
Probably one of my most favorite games would be the Alcoa game.
Okay.
Because they came in so highly touted. They were good. They were very good. So that one definitely has a place in my heart. And you had mentioned the Albertville game where we scored 40 points in one quarter. Again, I didn't remember the points. I just knew it was a lot. And I knew how we felt after that game. And I hope I let the kids enjoy that, because I think I was pretty mad at them because they had waited till the fourth quarter. But all of those, and y'all, my entire career, you know, has been so special to be able to do the things I've done. I mean, I was on a Final Four coaching staff, you know, Final Four women's national championship. How good has God been to me with this game of basketball? It's been wonderful. And the teaching and all the kids that I've known, I know not every kid loves me, and I know not every kid liked the way I taught them or coached them, but I want them to know through this show that I only had their best interest at heart. And I thank them for letting me be a part of all of that. And all my assistant coaches, had some good ones. And I'm still mad at Renee Skeen, but I'll get over it. She's not even a Skeen anymore, and I'm still mad at her. So, but I love her, and I'm just so appreciative of all my assistant coaches and my players.
One that I completely forgot about, a district championship.
Yeah.
That's special also, because out of all of them, you finish with one last district championship, and that's one that I didn't remember until you were talking about your favorite games, and I'm thinking, wow, the district championship slipped through our minds also.
Yes,
but
against Cherokee, a team
right after that had just
a week had beat us to death, and our kids were so locked in, and I knew Cherokee was in trouble.
And then going down the stretch, you've had so many seniors that have contributed. You had 2 that stayed all 4 years. You had Matea Gray and you had Jordan Swatzel, and you have 2 who joined for 1 year as a senior. You have Emma Shelton and then Briley Tolick. It's funny, you joked with, I think, Brian on the radio, and you said the transfer portal was good to you.
The transfer portal was very good to Greeneville High, because you never know when a kid comes in that is highly acclaimed, as Briley was. You know, how will your kids accept her? You know, how can you appreciate her without seeming favorite, you know, or favoritism? So at times I think Briley felt like she's picking on me. But as a point guard, you know, I was a point guard my career, and the point guard takes everything from the coach because you've got to be the coach on the floor. And I appreciate Briley choosing to come to Greeneville, although I discouraged her dad because I would never have left West Green. You know, I was a Buffalo for life. And to leave a school, but then talking to Briley and understanding how disappointing that season would be if she stayed there, and that there was things that she wanted to do, that she wanted to try. And I thought it was such a compliment to us and our program that she'd want to come because she felt like we could help her get where she wanted to be. And of course, our players bought right into her.
And that's a tough thing for them to do.
That's a tough thing.
Because they've stuck it out for this whole time, and then you have a senior transfer coming in. That's tough for them to give up and to sacrifice. And commendment to your girls for doing that, because they could have been, I mean, it's not just women, it's with men also. You see somebody coming in, you think, no, they can't have what's mine.
Right.
And there might be tension, there might not be a cohesive bond between the team. But you saw it in the few interviews that Briley did with us, and after the game with Mark, it's like they meshed together immediately.
Absolutely. I mean, did they squabble? Absolutely.
They all will at some point.
Did they disagree? Absolutely. But did they always have the same game plan? Yes, they did. You know, and I felt like, you know, her, Briley, and every player on the team had a special connection. And I think Briley did that. You know, I think she instilled in every player something that they did that she made them feel proud of. And I don't know if you know this about Briley Tulloch or not, but she missed some school last Friday to go watch a little girl that's a special education student that she knew from Cocke. She was in the Special Olympics. Yeah. Briley went and cheered her on. And every kid here, and every kid at Hal Hennard, if they have anything, learning disability, anything, Briley reaches out to them. Isn't that a special quality? And I have so many I could tell you. You know, Julia Woolsey's the same way. And Julia, is she not the most fun kid to watch play? She grins and laughs and has fun, but yet, buddy, she's focused. Let me tell you, that child does not want to lose. And you know, Maria is growing in a role of leadership. I felt like she really stepped up this year, not only in points and rebounds, you know, she does all that, but on the floor. She was a vocal leader on the floor. And I loved that.
One thing about Briley also, I think Brian mentioned after the game, she officially finishes her high school career 2,638 career points. After doing research, that's 4th all-time in Northeast Tennessee's 5-on-5 scoring record for girls. I think Lindy Ramsey from Unaka finished first a few years ago. I don't remember who second and third were, but I think she's 4th on the girls list.
Wow.
For a career. So remarkable career. She finishes at Greeneville High School, and then going from one-year senior to another one-year senior. You get some big minutes out of Emma Shelton this year, too.
I do get some big minutes out of Emma Shelton. And y'all, if you don't know Emma Shelton, if you ever get a chance to meet that young lady, talk to her. She has the most wonderful outlook on life, you know, and she's so bright and intelligent. She knows what she wants to do with her life. And she was the one that always ended every practice, every game. She's the one we gathered around in the middle and, you know, 1, 2, 3, you know, whatever we were saying. And this year our motto was trust the work or Lady Go Lady Devils. And she is just incredible. And she hadn't played since she was in the 8th grade, not because Coach Watts didn't ask her every year and not because her mother didn't encourage her. She wanted to dedicate her time to volleyball. But after volleyball ended, she decided, I'm going to go play basketball a year for that crazy redhead. And y'all, she did garner a lot of minutes. Very physical, very strong, just did things that if Maria or Jules needed a breather, there she was. Emma on the spot. And Greeneville High is going to miss that girl.
And then talking about the 2 seniors, save those 2 for last because they were the ones that stayed all 4 years and that you probably have the most to talk about. Matea Gray and Jordan Swatzel spoke about it in our interview, our short 2-minute interview after the game. I mean, they finished with 2 state tournament appearances, I believe 3 district championships. They never win a region championship, but I think they finished close to maybe over 100 wins
Absolutely.
in 4 years. What a decorated career both of those two can say that they have leaving Greeneville High School.
Absolutely. And let me start with Matea. Matea never complains. In fact, never says very much at all. Always does her job. Can take coaching, can take hard coaching. Yes, ma'am, I've got it. And she is the most steady and level-headed player that I've had in a long, long time. You know, just does her job and can kill you. Like one coach said, she's a silent assassin. Good little shot. And guys, let me tell you, she is a great student, excellent student. And as of today, you know, her plans today are on scholarship to Johnson University near Knoxville and continue her soccer career. So they're getting a good one. You know, I told her, I said, you know, the basketball team's probably going to come after you. And she just kind of grinned. So, you know that Johnson University, if you're watching this, that Matea Gray will be on your campus. Going to Jordan, you know, Jordan Swatzel has a soft spot in my heart because any kid that goes through an ACL reconstruction, I mean, they pay the price, and it's a tough one. And oftentimes, you know, Jordan, I know, would push through when she was hurting. She got in a little bit of a shooting slump, and for shooters, they get in their own heads, and it's hard to get them out of it. But thank goodness I can't even remember what game it was, just recently. She hit 6.
In the postseason.
Yeah, in postseason play.
Crockett?
I guess it was Crockett.
Maybe.
Yeah, and she just, you know, that made her season so much more fun. You know, I did it. You know, I've played. This knee didn't hold me back. I did the work. I'm good. I'm ready to go on with my life now. And I'm not sure Jordan knows today what she wants to do in her career. So we'll just, you know, where she's going to college, but we'll find out as she spreads her wings.
I'm wanting to thank Crockett for 2 reasons. A, that was a big win during the postseason. Yes. B, you scored 90 points. So if she's going to hit 6 3-pointers, I'm going to pick the game where you scored the most points in.
Oh, okay. Well, now, see, I look at it differently. I look at where do we defend and maintain the defense and the pressure and share the ball. That's what I love. I love for her to have 6 threes every game, but I love for Briley to have some. I love for Jules to have some. I love for, you know, Matea to have some, and Maria. I feel like teams are best when you've got everybody feeding something in to the program and feeding something in, you know, to the progress, and just trust the work.
Last question I'll have leading into the finish. You had alluded to it a little bit there in the first half where you said your retirement rumor had kind of got out a little bit and it was running rampant and speculation was in the air going into Cocke County and just the tournament as a whole, thinking this could be it. But knowing the group that you finished with, how happy were you with how you finished with this group?
Oh, just tickled to death. Couldn't be more proud. Couldn't end on a better note. Couldn't end with better kids. You know, it's just everything was right. Would I like to have made it one more step? Yes, I would have. But it just wasn't meant to be. I'll never look back and say, if I wish I could have. You know, like I said a while ago, though, Brad and I talked about going to a zone, but it didn't happen. And you couldn't end with a better bunch of young women.
I think you gave me new terminology after the game, too, when you said nobody would have thought we would have been where we were today, and you said doodly flop.
Doodly flop.
Doodly flop. Never heard that one before.
Hey, that's a Annette word, doodly flop. I come up with things often, and but I certainly don't mean them to be.
I don't remember nobody would have thought we'd have done a doodly flop. I think that was your exact quote. Nobody thought we would have done a doodly flop.
In other words, we came because this summer, guys, we took it on the chin a lot. This team improved and improved, and yeah, bringing Briley in, certainly, you know, the portal was good to us. So we did a doodly flop. We we improved, got better, and Sweet 16 in the state of Tennessee.
Sweet 16, finished 23-11, District 2 3A champions, regular season and tournament, and the Region 1 3A runner-up. I mean, that's not a bad season at all.
It's not a bad season.
I mentioned it in Brad's interview earlier today, too. A lot of coaches desire, one of their goals at the beginning of the season is to win 20 games.
20 games.
You averaged 21 wins a season in your 13 years at Greeneville.
Are you serious? Because that was always my goal.
20.
You know, but I never tried to push it on my kids. We got to win 20. You know, the wins will come if you trust the work and you do the work. But that's always a goal, is to win 20. I didn't know I averaged
21.07, so almost 21 right on the dot.
And the schedule we play,
that's impressive.
That's not easy to do. So, again, those good players I've had, those good assistant coaches I've had, they help me do those things.
And best of luck to all those teams down there also. A lot of the teams that you played, Daniel Boone, Cocke County, Alcoa, Bearden, Sevier County. Maybe forgetting one, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I mean, best of luck to all those teams down there at the state tournament. Would certainly love to be down there at the state tournament, but it just wasn't how it was made out to be. But Coach, one final time, unless you've got anything else to add, that's all I've got.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Won't be the same next year. But thank you all for watching this year's edition of the Pizza and Annette Show. Hey, one more time, shout out to Pizza Inn.
Oh, Pizza Inn,
hey,
absolutely.
Go to
I might
Pizza.
go over there tonight.
There you go. Go to Pizza Inn on, well, I won't say go to Pizza Inn on us, because I don't want to go in there one day and then they say, hey, you've got an outstanding bill that people are putting on you. So don't put it on Tyler or Green Sports Zone, but hey, go to Pizza Inn, sit down, pizza, pasta, salad, dessert. Have a good time, sit down, talk to them, nice people there, and they allow us to run this show for you every week. So thank you to Pizza Inn, and once again, thank you to Coach Watts for sitting down each week. I know it's a hard thing to do with a coach's schedule, and I enjoy it every time we get to sit down and talk. So
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching this year's edition of the Pizza and Annette Watts Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.